What's up, guys? It's your boy Houston Rocket with another video. Today I'm gonna be doing some more blinkers, eating some bean and cheese and barbacoa breakfast burritos. Say that 5 times fast.
In the Greek mythological tradition,
Cheers.
there are many instances of the gods creating hybrid animals, and even more that involve their manipulation of humans, including the creation of the human race. According to Greek mythology, the Titan Prometheus formed,
You know, we got the ancient aliens in the background, so if you're paying attention,
into them.
It's also said that Prometheus brought us civilization, that he gave us writing, he gave us language, he gave us arithmetic.
The Greek myths go on to speak of mortals and immortals commingling to create hybrids who were half human and half god. Many Greek heroes had been fathered by God.
Okay.
And many others, semi-godly, semi-human hybrids. These sexual interactions produce what they call a demigod, somebody who was half man, half
goodness.
God, half woman, half God. And these demigods became very, very powerful in their own right. We read a lot of stories about mating between gods and human beings in many, many other mythologies all around the world. We can find that in Mesopotamia with the famous Anunnaki, the stories about the Watchers. Much like the myths of ancient Greece, stories of humans mixed with the bloodlines of gods appear in many cultures throughout the ancient
They
world.
had barbacoa came on a meal deal, which was it's a $6 meal deal for the barbacoa, but you get a hash brown and a drink. I'm assuming they're charging that much because it's beef. And then the bean and cheese are 2 for $3. So you can get 2 bean and cheese tacos, burritos, whatever, for $3, and then you could add a drink for like 79 cents, like $4. But I also got some Cholula, some Valentina at home to put on the stuff. I'm gonna put my hash brown on the barbacoa, but I'm gonna start with these bean and cheese. I'm gonna start with the bean and cheese and work my way towards the barbacoa. Okay, I see you, Circle K. Nothing crazy, but nice little wad of bean there. I'm gonna put the Valentina on the bean and cheese, or at least on this one.
We have the curious stories of the Greek gods creating these heroes or demigods, and so we can kind of see here how the gods or the extraterrestrials are genetically.
Some Valentina nice in the envelope.
Could the Greek stories of the demigods serve as evidence of an extraterrestrial agenda to genetically evolve and guide the development of humankind? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and they suggest
The beans is a little tight.
evidence that there was an otherworldly presence in ancient Greece can be found by examining the country's oldest structures, which were said to have been built by a race of giants. What is out there? Help us get here.
And I know it's a lot of people that just be taking beans out of the can
To the future.
and putting them in the tortilla. I hope to God, Circle K, that's not what y'all be doing. Because if I had to guess,
Ancient aliens. Ancient Greeks
based off of how tight these beans are,
first appears in Homer's epic poem The Iliad and takes place around 2500 BC, roughly 1300 years before the rise of the Greek Empire. According to Greek mythology, this is the Golden Age.
it's not
the
cute.
time when humans shared the earth with the gods, as well as many other strange
2 for
creatures
$3 bean
like
and cheese. Get the fuck out of here.
You're talking about tons of giants, tons of monsters, tons of scary beings.
cyclopes, hybrids of monsters, but they're all existing together somehow in the same place.
In the ancient texts, Greece was home to an advanced society during the so-called Golden Age.
You know,
And ancient astronaut theorists suggest remnants of that civilization may be located near the city of Argos, where there are ruins of a mysterious megalithic structure that is unlike any other structure.
I can't sit here and even pretend to be mad because
Outside of Argos,
it's 2 for $3 bean and cheese burritos, and they can't hit every time. Circle K can't be a blast every time. I'm sure there's plenty of people that would fuck with these. I'll make my own. If this is the bean, and I'll stick with what I go there for. The sandwiches and the stuff and the donuts and coffee. I'll make these at home. I got bean and cheese burritos at home. But you know, I'm gonna fuck with it for this. I'm gonna eat it.
In 1995, scientists working at the Academy of Athens dated samples from the site using a new and experimental method called optical thermoluminescence. The results were staggering.
They're thick.
The pyramid at Hellinikon, according to their results, is one of the oldest pyramids on Earth. The pyramid of Hellinikon dates to 2720 BC. The Hellinikon.
You want a bean and cheese protein pack all day?
If the dating is correct of 2720 BC, then this is over 1,000 years older.
Need to eat, but don't need to eat that good?
The dating of the pyramid of Hellinikon places it in the same era as the so-called Golden Age. when
Introducing the struggle at Circle K.
on Earth. Curiously, just 8 miles to
2 bean and cheese burritos for $3, no drink.
the construction style of the Greek Empire.
Scratch up the change or struggle through that shit, bitch.
Similar to that of the pyramid of Hellinikon. Standing within the ancient site of Mycenae is an incredible megalithic structure called the Treasury of Atreus.
The treasury of Atreus at Mycenae was this massive structure built in the hillside.
The Valentina,
With huge blocks, conglomerate stone.
Thank God.
Brought into place, including the lintel that goes over the threshold going into the tomb, which weighs 250 tons.
What's telling about Mycenae is that we have multiple construction styles there. And the oldest one is the most sophisticated, and
They
the
opened a
same
can of
masonry
beans,
style exists at
scooped them into the tortilla,
about a
rolled these
2-minute
shits with
drive
cheese in
from
them,
present-day Mycenae.
melted them in the microwave, and then said, "Here you go."
Were part of the same kingdom at the time. For ancient astronaut theorists, the notion that these megalithic structures could both date back more than 4,700 years is extraordinary. But even more intriguing is the fact that the Greek stories say they were built.
Not everything from the gas station can be
humanoid
perfect.
beings who lived during the Golden Age.
According to the ancient Greeks, the treasury of Atreus at Mycenae was created by the Cyclopes, huge, giant builders that had a single circular eye in the middle of the forehead, and they were credited with lifting these huge blocks into place.
In Greek mythology, the Cyclops were related to the Titans, the first generation of gods, and were master craftsmen. They created Zeus's thunderbolt, Poseidon's trident, and Hades' cap of invisibility. And they were credited with building the ancient megaliths of Greece. The Cyclops were thought to be master masons, advanced metallurgists.
I'm almost scared to try this barbacoa. I'm gonna take another blinker just in case.
Brilliant way. If you look around the site, of
So
Mycenae,
disappointing.
you see amazing construction all over the site. So is there some reality to these stories? Is there actual giants who were involved in the construction of sites like Mycenae? As far as ancient astronaut theorists are concerned, the Pyramid of Ellinikon and the Treasury of Atria provide further evidence that the golden age of the gods was more than just a myth. This idea is not something that was just pulled out of thin air. In fact, it also connects to other stories of gods around.
I'm putting my hash brown on the burrito too. Barbacoa and potato.
Speak of a so-called golden age
We'll see.
of ancient Egypt.
I'm about to let you guys know.
When
$6
human
fucking
beings
for the meal deal.
lived side by side
I hope
with the
to
so-called
God
gods.
this thing is loaded with fucking
This is
beef.
something that has been recorded
Yes.
orally and also in a written language
Okay.
for thousands of years around the world. And you have to ask the question, are our ancestors all talking about the same visiting extraterrestrials?
I just stuffed the hash brown in there.
Is it possible that the structures like the Treasury of Atreus and the Pyramid of Ellinikon
This one's getting
were
Cholula.
built during a time when humans shared the earth with visitors from another world?
Brand new bottle. Gotta break the seal.
Can be found by examining another mysterious megalithic site where the Greeks claimed they could speak directly to the gods.
If you have tried multiple oral antidepressants and they haven't worked, did you know that after 2, you can try another path? Spravato works differently to rapidly reduce depression symptoms. Spravato is the only FDA-approved nasal spray taken with or without an oral antidepressant for adults with treatment-resistant depression. While the exact way that Spravato works in depression is unknown, it acts on glutamate, a chemical messenger in the brain thought to regulate depression. Spravato
Good old
can cause
Cholula.
side effects
I got
like
3 different hot
fainting,
sauces.
dizziness,
Valentina,
sensation,
Cholula,
anxiety,
and
disconnected,
Frank's.
breathing problems,
Because those are the only
blood
ones I
pressure
like.
problems, thinking clearly, or bladder problems. Your healthcare provider must monitor you for serious side effects for at least 2 hours after taking Spravato. There's risk
Got
for
that
abuse and
bitch
misuse.
soaked.
Don't take it for the blood vessel disease, an abnormal connection between your veins and arteries, a history of bleeding in the brain, or are or may become pregnant. Spravato may harm your unborn baby. Don't drive, operate machinery, or perform activities that require full alertness until the next day after restful sleep. Antidepressants may increase suicidal thoughts and actions in people 24 and younger. Spravato is not for use in children. It doesn't prevent suicide or suicidal thoughts or actions, relieve pain, or replace hospitalization. Call your doctor right away about changes in behavior, worsening depression, or thoughts of suicide. With fewer depression
If you got the money,
symptoms, you may begin to feel like
just get the
yourself again.
Barbacoa.
Ask your healthcare provider or visit Spravato.com. The all-electric CHR. Toyota. Let's go places.
At Stanton, we sell great frames. All sorts of frames. Over 1,000 frames, starting at just $79. I saved money, and I see great. Smart, simple, Stanton.
The Temple of Apollo, Delphi, Greece. Located on the slopes of Mount Parnassus, this site was a religious center throughout the entire timeline of the Greek Empire. When Homer wrote the Iliad in the 8th century BC. When Socrates established Western philosophy in the 5th century BC. And when Alexander the Great conquered Egypt in the 4th century BC. Delphi was the place where people went to communicate directly with the gods.
Delphi is this extraordinarily powerful place, and you can feel it when you go there today. Delphi became hugely important throughout classical antiquity. Everybody, especially the ruling elite, would go and they would pose a question. Nobody would go to war, nobody would even start a trade excursion, nobody would do anything without going and consulting the oracle. And the oracle would channel basically an answer then from the gods.
The oracle was a high priestess known as the Pythia, who held court at the Temple of Apollo, which lies mostly in ruins today. According to ancient texts, those seeking counsel from the gods were put in a meditative state
before entering the innermost sanctuary of the temple, where they would offer gifts and present their questions.
I'm gonna call that a silent acquisition.
The way the Oracle at Delphi functioned was the Pythia, the priestess, sat over a crevice which was within
Buy
the
it,
temple of Apollo.
eat it,
She would
enjoy
inhale
it.
whatever fumes were coming up from the crevice, and she would then get an answer from Apollo, a divine answer from above.
There was a crack in the stone there, and there was
Meal
a
deal
vapor and
complete.
gas that was coming, which put her into an altered state.
Bean and cheese,
Although we do not know
miss.
what the altered state was.
Barbacoa with the hash brown added to it and some Cholula.
Current research on the
Hit.
Pythia at Delphi is asking the question, was there
Peace and
perhaps
much
some
love.
kind of psychedelic